like to start tonight, John? Would you like to do the review, or would you like to tell them the story of Gu Zub Zub in English?
Yeah, first I want to kind of straighten them out on the word please.
Oh, good.
There's no such word in Somalian that I know of. But it's the frame of the voice when you ask for food. Ginia, Hunea. That's not the way to say it. Ginia, Hunea. You've got to say it politely, and it's a frame of mind that you're asking, please give me some food. There's no please in Somali. I'll say that now because I've never heard of it. The people that I associated with never said that word please. I never heard of it. Now that's going to be that until somebody comes up with a better thing. But I don't think they ever will.
So what John said is really important. If you could remember, he just said it's the way you say something. And you can say the simplest thing with a very bad attitude or with a lot of rudeness, and that's not appropriate. Now, if you want to say, give me some dried fish, gini zintleti, you say it, and you will hear some maybe affection or grace or a sense of humbleness in your voice. And that's the appropriate way to be asking for our dried fish. Gini zintleti. Gini zintleti. But John showed you an example of a terribly rude way to ask for our dried fish. If you just shout it out, that's like an assault. It's like a verbal assault to shout that. And so that would be an insult to anybody and who they are to talk like that to a person. So in the way you say something, you can demonstrate the way you feel grace, or manners. So he said it's how you say it. So that's really important because that's true for a lot of things. Almost everything you say in Shamalia, you will demonstrate the feelings you are trying to communicate with the way you speak. So it's I always say, Shamalia, learning Shamalia, you have to demonstrate what you're communicating. It's not just words, it's not just letters, it's the way you say it. So John did an awesome example of the rudest way to ever ask for dried fish. Now in a Western society, that actually might be a good thing to be shouting like that. But in the Tsimshian society, it's very rude. Any questions?
It's like talking to you too, Terry.
Well, and then Tsimshians who have the old traditional diet of dried fish, ards and thefi or iwoksh is very special food. It's an art to put it up and to demand it like garbage or like something with violence in your voice. Oh, it's just a terrible thing. No one should have that feeling and he's talking about such a wonderful food. But anyway, it was and plenty of all things, or I wash. Okay, so that's a long round answer for how to say please in Shamalia.
A good lesson.
But
Got a lot out of it.
It's a good lesson. It's everything, not what you say, but what you do. But if you're going to be saying something, say it appropriately, with enough respect and grace. Okay, not that we can't have fun.
You say it in a kindly way, that's the please you would get from Tsimshian people. They never demand you to give them food. They ask for it politely. That settles that please question
With respect.
to me. Yes. Now, I think, you want me to start the story? No. Oh. Yeah. Okay, the story starts with, as I heard it, but it's, I keep wanting to talk in Somali. But years ago, way before our grandfathers and yeah, they hadn't even come into sight yet when this story started to happen. According to what I know about it, it's not just a story, but it was something that they believed in. Yeah. Let's see, how do I start that? Boy, it's so hard to try to say it in English after I've been talking for Somalia for so long now. Even at home, I use Somalia, even though I'm alone, you know. But the story starts out as White Shugi Falls. Years ago, that the little bird lived, and you notice that these animals, they all talked, just like the Bible says about Jesus' time, when he was born, the movies I saw, all the animals talked. Until Jesus died and they stopped talking. But these little creatures, they all talk, and they talk Somali. The very word that the Tsimshian means, the people, and the Chab is the group of people that belong to a certain tribe. Chab. The Chab of Tsimshian. The people of Tsimshian. But the correct way to pronounce Tsimshian is Tsimshian. Let's put that there for now. Let's see if I can start the story about the stuff. It's been a long time since I told it in English.
She recorded.
But every time I try to start, it always kind of comes out as in Somali. Did I ever tell you what Somali means?
I am.
Somali means the main language, or the real language, whichever way you want to describe it. But to me, it's the main language, Somali. Well, now, the Tsimshian, he lived at a time when everything that happened in the world is always involves the animals, you know. It's sure hard to, I haven't said this in a long time, you know.
Long ago, there was Tub, and he was a teenager.
Yeah. And he lived, like a teenager, he was hungry all the time. So he decided to go to his grandmother and see if he can get some dried fish. And his grandmother was laying on a big rug, a bear rug, and he walks out into the house and he said, geez, smokes, what do you say?
Gini Tsimshian.
Yeah. Genie has said, give me some dried fish. And he seen that his grandmother did not move or didn't hear him. So he walked in a little further and he raised his voice and she said, Gee, give me some dried fish. And the grandmother stood up and sat up on the bear rug and called our son there. What do you want? And the grandson said, again, I didn't like it. Give me some fish, dried fish. And the grandmother got up and walked over to the kitchen counter and cut out some salmon, little pieces of salmon, and cut them up and gave it to the grandson. And when the grandson was happy, he sang on his way out, he's singing. But his grandmother told him, she said, don't you come in and bother me again. I'm warming my back on the bear rug by the fireplace. So Tip-Top turned around and went out. And they lived very close to a little brook. And he flew down to where there was a side of the brook, there was a still water filled up by the brook, and he put his fish in there and put a rock on top of it. And he flew up the branch and he's so happy, he's singing. And it just so happened that there was a brown bear close by that the wolves tangled with the night before. But Tip-Top didn't know about this. And the brown bear heard Tip-Top singing up there on the tree. And he walked up to him and he said, why are you so happy? Oh, that's pretty good, yeah. Nothing at all, nothing at all. And at the same time, he glanced down at the pool of water by the brook, and the big brown bear saw him glance down there, and he took a look too down there, and he saw the fish that was in the water with a rock on top of it. And he walked down there, pulled the rock off, and picked up the fish and chewed it up and swallowed it. Oh boy, that little bird got real mad. He flew around his head and he was picking his head as he flew around it. The bear said, stop that. He said, stop that or I'll eat you up. He didn't, Tip-Top didn't bother him. I might swallow you, he said, if you don't stop. But Tip-Top didn't stop. And the bear didn't. He's gone, And he lived there. Next thing he knew, he was down in the dark stomach of the bear, and he could feel that there was a lot of little twigs in there with berries still on it. The brown bear had been eating berries, and he ate twigs of the berries along with the berries. And he piled all the twigs up there, and he had a little bag that he could start a fire with. And the stuff that he made was made from red cedar. When red cedar wood gets old, they separate it into rings. And you can tear that off and grind it up. And it burns just like the word is almost in Somali. What is that in English? I forget.
Kindling?
Almost.
Oh, sap? Sap?
No.
Tender.
It's powder, gunpowder. Yeah. And
It does.
when he put that down there under the twigs, and he hit the rock like that powder just flamed up and shut up and burned the wood all up. And he had the fires going, and he just filled up the twigs on the bear's stomach and piled them up together. And the thing started to blaze, and the big brown bear felt it, and he ran around in a circle and hollered, and oh man, have you ever heard a bear, big bear holler? Yeah, it almost sounds like these ships that blow their big whistles at the dock when they come in, you know. And he ran around in a circle, and he was still groaning, and he fell down and died from the fire in his stomach. And the dog felt that, and he crawled up the throat of the brown bear and climbed up on his tongue and looked out. His tongue was hanging out the side of his jaw, you know, and he climbed up there and climbed into where his teeth are, and he looked into the peek out between the teeth. And he saw the outside, so he moved the tongue over and he crawled out. And he took a twig and poked the brown bear's eyes. He picked the lid up and poked his eyes, and nothing happened. He poked it and jumped backwards, you know. And he looked at the bear, and nothing was going on, so he pulled the lid off the other eye, and he poked it. And he jumped back again. Nothing happened. You must be dead, he thought. So he flew up to his grandmother's house and called for her. He said, Jeez, Negro, come on over here and see us. I just killed the brown bear. She laughed at him, and he said, it's good news in checking with brown bear. Yeah. I'm telling you, Somalia again. I just can't help myself. That's what I know, you know. That's the way I heard the story in Somalia. And it keeps coming back to me in that frame. But grandmother didn't believe that the dove killed the brown bear. It's so big, you know, and the dove was so small. And the dove could see that grandmother didn't believe her. He said, Aggie, you don't believe me, do you? He said, I am, yes, I am. No. So he took her by the hand. Come on, I'll show you. And he took him down by the brook where the bear was laying, and his grandmother poked around his nose and put a stick up the bear's nose. Nothing happened. So he said, it must be dead. And he said, I'm going to go up to the house and get my knives, and we'll fillet the skin off, and then we'll slice the meat up and take it up to the smokehouse. Okay. She went up there and stayed there by the bear, and she came down and they both cut the skin off. And opened the thing, skinned up, and they sliced the hind legs down and took all the big bones out of it, and they took the meat up to the smokehouse, and they tied it up with ropes and hung it up on the ceiling, where there's a lot of smoke and heat from the fire. This is the way they cooked it, you know. It took days to cook it. I guess that's what you call slow cooking. And they all got through with fixing up the meats and all stored in a smokehouse, all hanging up there. And then he cut a little piece of fat off one of the meats and he was chewing it. And he went out and sat up on the branch of the tree. And he heard the laughing and people laughing like mad down below somewhere. So he looked over there and he could see that there was a den made by the wolves. And as the door was open, he could see the fire coming up. And to the top of the den, there was a hole that let the smoke out. And he flew down there and he looked in and he saw the number of wolves up in the upper part of their den gambling. And they were enjoying themselves. They laughed like mad and took up, walked in and sat down by the fire to watch, you know. And then one of the bears, or the wolves, saw him and he walked down and sat with him. And while he was chewing this fat, his saliva started building up in his mouth with the juice from the fat that he had. He didn't swallow it, he spit it out. He spit it into the fire, and the flames shot up, you know. But that wolf that was sitting with him didn't notice it that first time. But when the second time happened, and the flames shot up, and the wolf turned around at him, and he said, "What are you eating?" And he said, "Nothing. The wolf didn't believe him, so he walked over to him and pulled his mouth open. There was a big fat in there. He said, "Where did you get this?" "Oh," he said, "I killed the big brown bear. That's where I got it." "You killed the big brown bear?" "Yes, I killed the big brown bear." And the wolf hollered out to his brothers, "Wait! Hi, I'm in the house for the trouble. What?" "Oh, excuse me." He hollered out and he told his brothers, "Brothers, come here and listen to what this little bird is saying. He said he killed a big brown bear." And they all came down and sat around the little up in the middle. And they sat just like they're ready to pounce on him, you know. A little tiny bird sitting there in the middle of the big wolves. And then the biggest wolf, black one, came down and pushed his way in and sat in front of the little bird. He said, "What did you do?" He said, "I killed the big brown bear." He said, "You killed the big brown bear?" "Oh, yes," he said. And the big black wolf told him, he said, "Yesterday we fought with that brown bear and they killed 3 or 4 of our brothers before we left him alone. And now you're trying to tell me that you killed this big brown bear." "Yes," he said. "Come on, I'll show you." And they walked out across the brook and they said, "There's the skin, there's the bones, and the meat is up in the smokehouse. Come on," he said. The brown bear didn't look like they didn't believe him because they didn't say anything. And so he took them off there and showed them the smokehouse. They walked in and saw a big pile of Tsimshian, hard dried salmon. And oh boy, there's the meat of the brown bear hanging in the ceiling in the smokehouse. And the big black wolf told his brother, he said, take all this meat and all the Tsimshian and took it down to our den. They start pulling it down and Tsimshian is fighting them, picking out their heads. And the grandmother heard all the noise going on in the smokehouse. She got up and went down to see what it was, and she saw the wolves taking the meat and the meat and the Tsimshian out. And she joined her grandson fighting the bears. So all the excitement, the grandmother fainted. She fell down on the floor and lay there. And the bears took all the meat, all the dried fish, and the grandmother finally woke up when everything was gone out of the smokehouse, and she moved up to his grandson and said, what are we going to do now? He said, all of the food is gone. You have nothing for the winter. And she fainted again. The chap got the knife and cut the fur, cut the feathers off of her hind, her hips, and sliced off the big fat hip on her, and took it and started frying it on the fire. And the grandmother, laying on the floor, smelled the good food being cooked, and she woke up and she asked the grandson, what are you cooking? Oh, why you so young? There you go. At least can be a month here. I'll write just a little bit, I'll give it to you. And she sat up on the floor and waited. And the grandson came over with a wooden plate and had the meat on there, and the old lady started cutting it up and eating. And the grandson was sitting a little ways away from her. He couldn't contain his giggling. He sat there and giggled to himself. He had his mouth, a hand over his mouth, and he said, but it got so bad that he couldn't hold it. He was laughing back, and he let out with a big laugh. And the grandmother said, what are you laughing at? Oh, he said, grandmother, you're eating your own hip, fat hip. The grandmother got a piece of her hip, and on this side there was a big hole in her hip, and she fell down and fainted. That was the end of the story.
Oh.
That's where I told you that Shabbat Adam.
Oh.
That means the end of the story.
Good one, John.
I hope you get some meaning out of it. The unusual thing about the story is, we were struggling to keep the language going in the KIT sponsored. What's the name of the building we were in?
Oh, where you live?
No, where we're at the class.
Oh, the CTEP education building.
Yeah, and this anthropologist that was there told the council members that this is a good story that depicts what is going to happen. Is that the language is going to disappear if you don't do something about it. And today they still haven't did anything. Now her and I have volunteered our time to teach Swedish.
Yeah, we had a person come up and give a language assessment for progress on language revitalization in Ketchikan. And I was able to tell him the Scoot Zub Zub story. And this person was from a nation, I think, the Salish. He was amongst the Salish people. And so when he heard the story, his takeaway from the story was that if you fail to protect your resources, you're going to have them fed back to you in a way you don't want. And then he obviously saw your resource is the language, and you're about ready to have it fed back to you in a way you don't want if you don't protect it. Yeah, so that was his recommendation to the council. So here we are. I believe the story, I've appreciated the story, oh gosh, for 6 years now. And as the years go on, I'll be getting more appreciation and more information out of this story because there's so many layers to it. And then everybody, John would like you guys to take away what you see. When you're younger, you're just sort of surprised by the difference between a westernized story and a Tsimshian legend. That as you learn more language and study Tsimshian culture more and gain deeper understandings, you'll see a lot more wisdom and warnings in the story. But it's for you guys to squeeze that out.
Yeah, you tell them where the thing is stored now.
Oh, the story?
Yeah. You said that they're recording it.
Oh, yeah. So John would like me to tell you that the state of Alaska public library, the state library system, is recording every class. So every class we've had is being recorded. And I did talk to one of the technicians with the State OWL program, and they will be, I guess, somehow translating these recordings so they could make them available online. And that'll be kind of soon, but it won't be tomorrow, so we're hoping in a few weeks all of these recordings will be available through the Alaska State Library OWL system. So go to Alaska Libraries and then click on OWL. Yeah. So it's not, you won't find that tonight or tomorrow night, but within the next couple weeks you should be able to watch these recordings. And they'll be on the state system online for many years to come. So you can keep going back and listen. Is that what you wanted me to say?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, good. Would you guys like to share any impressions you had from this story? I know it's not too often you get a chance to hear the full old story in 100% in language, in native language, and then now today for the first time you get to hear the English translation. So, what are your impressions? What was that like?
Well, there isn't any questions, but maybe Mr. Catherine might have some questions.
Yes. Matlakatla, do you have any questions about Scoot Zub Zub? The little bird. Did you hear that story before?
I have.
You heard the story. Did you hear it from John?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you tell the story in Metlakatla, John?
Again?
No. Did you tell the story in Metlakatla before?
No.
Okay.
Just tonight.
It's the
That's
first time I
today's.
really told it to a group of people since I told it to you.
Okay. All right. Um, there are a lot of stories that are similar, and depending on which family told the story, there'll be a little bit, tiny little differences. And those differences are pretty neat, and they're specific to your tribe and your family. So there's no expectation that John's story is going to match anyone else's brown bear story, and it shouldn't. Yeah, no, you might want to have that expectation about popular stories in American society, but don't have that expectation for Tsimshian culture.
Terry.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I had a hard time starting the story in English, but you can see that I spent most of my time speaking Smiley with Wilbur and Gertrude and Terry. But I just can't translate something in English. That seems like it should be easy for me because I can speak English fairly well, I think. But I tried hard tonight to tell you that story in English. Kind of stumbled through, didn't I?
Oh no, you did wonderful, John. I love how you tell it in English as well. Yes, did somebody have a question in Metlakatla? Tim?
Yeah, I was earlier. I was thinking that I'd like to see this done like in a native theater situation. I know Ken Yates over on POW does a lot of native theater. So as he was telling the story, I would love to see this, done in a native theater where with every kind of prop imaginable to really illustrate the story.
Yeah, I agree. Our stories are so expressive and visual. Something that always piques my interest in this story is that the wolves were gambling. And I kind of imagine wolves sitting back on their haunches playing poker. So John, how I wonder about those wolves who are gambling.
Huh?
I was thinking about those wolves who are gambling.
No.
Do you think they were gambling with sticks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the wolves were using, but they never did tell me in the story. They just said that they were gambling. And they're having a good time and laughing. That's all my mother told me.
Yeah.
I don't know what they. This story came to me while I was still a little boy, sitting on my mother's lap when the rains were pouring down and just like a waterfall off the roof of our house. And I can't get out to play, And so she entertained me with stories. And she told me a lot of stories about the handsome raven and how the Tsimshians got the eagle for their crest. I will tell you some more stories as this class progresses.
I like the biblical reference.
What?
I like the biblical reference you made.
Oh, Terry was saying that he did like the biblical reference that you made when the animals were talking between each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. That's what I mean, but about those levels.
At that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna bite you.
I don't want to interrupt you, John.
Kind of short story for me.
Ooh. Tim like thinking too.
That's okay.
I was thinking we should go ahead and review what we've learned so far in the class.
Yeah. Good. I have some new words for you later on after you get to review over.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and review. And we all started out with, how are you doing?
Dalawan.
Dalawan.
Delawan.
Dalawan.
Delawan.
Okay, I'm going to go around and ask everybody, and then you guys tell me how you're doing. If you're doing good, you say, Amwalawalu. If you're not doing so good, what do you say?
Askadian.
Askadi-am. What if you're sick? Sheepganu.
Sheepganu.
Sheepganu. Okay.
Wow.
Ndalawan. Ndalawan. How are you doing? Amwalawalu. Yeah. Or you could just say am. Oh, no action. Ndalawan. Oh, Lugalam. Ndalawan.
Askadian.
Oh, Gwe. Ndalawan. Shika, dem Gaushu? Dem Gaushu. Oh, Gwe. Ndalawan. Oh,
My head is sick. Shiv Gaben. Stomach and
You sure you're sick now?
yeah.
Is that just being lazy or?
It's good enough.
I understand.
Yeah. And Amwalawalu was normal.
Okay, yeah, and I don't know if Matt heard that.
Oh, I'll ask him. So, Tim, in Delawan.
Lugalam.
Amwalawalu. Oh, Lugalam, very good. Oh, I am.
Sorry,
David,
I was thinking English.
Ndalawan, David.
Cadinus, a sagunum, a waltz.
Oh. I asked the walayu hound the Gwen. I don't know what you said.
Cadinu, I'm hungry.
Oh, can you say that again in Shamalia? Can you?
Cadinu.
Oh, Padiu. Oh,
Padiu.
This knew you. I'm hungry too. Okay, Naomi? Is that your name?
Yeah.
Oh, Ndalawan Naomi. Oh, I am Doyekshin. Ask the Quadian, are you hungry? Oh, okay, she's hungry as well. Lugalam, good job, everybody. All right. That's what I was hoping is we can get through. Tonight's only our fourth class.
Oigandi? Oigandi.
Okay, so let's talk about when you're sick. I am sick. Sheepganu.
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 I am sick. Also, John gave you the words for time. For time. Year. Year is gos. Gos. Gos is year. Oh, gos.
Start with a K sound.
Oh, and John is pronouncing that with a K sound. So,
Popping cake.
Or.
It's done.
Gyang.
Gyam.
Gyang.
Gimga.
Gyang.
Gimga.
Gyang.
Yum.
Oh. Weak. Ganut. Ganut. Oh. Ganut.
Banut.
Day. Sha.
Shah.
Sha.
Shah.
Sha.
Shah.
Day
Sha.
is sha.
Sha.
Sha. Terry, you did good. When the class first started, Terry said amsha. He said amsha to John. He said good day, amsha. Yeah, that was awesome. I thought it was pretty smart.
Very
Yeah.
good, Terry.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd like to mention before we switch to lessons, there are words in Somalia that have double meanings, just like the word gem. It also means heat. You eat hot food, gem uneo. And then gem is also the sun. So that's a double meaning to that word gem. I thought I'd mention that to you so I was still on. You'll find many words in the Somalia that have double meanings. I'll call your attention to them as it comes up.
That reminds me of that poem that your mom taught you about the little deer on the lake, or the little deer on the island.
No. Yeah, I've forgotten about that. I think this story starts with it's trying to describe the word ta. Ta is an island. And then when you add lach on there, lach ta, it's a lake. And yeah, I really forgot what it went on. I didn't feel.
Nata skuta.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, and Nata skuta, and Ida skuta, and the one, come on, I think my mom might have seen that I needed to make a difference between the Lafta and Ta is an island. Lafta is a lake. Yeah.
And one.
Yeah, one. And one is deer. I guess you know that, don't you?
Oh.
Yeah. Lorraine does. And Terry does.
Is there another meaning for one besides deer?
Oh yes, one is one. I could say that in Somalia. Go. One is go. Go is one. And it also means a deer.
Does one also mean a place?
One?
Yeah. In the poem, the deer, where was the deer?
No. One is also like you guys. I'm a one. So you're all sitting down. That's the word that the thinking means too. They're sitting down. One.
Like O-N-E. Plural.
And this particular word has three meanings, doesn't it?
Oh. So we have deer and we have to sit. Those are two different meanings for the word in Shimaliyat one. And so it was used in a poem, both ways.
Yeah, I used to know that, but it's been such a long time since I have used it. I forgot about it, but she didn't forget it.
Oh, it's for people who have been studying Shimalya for a while. I remember in the poem you said, Adani 1, school 1, and there sat a little deer. So it's for me. I think it's exciting to learn all the different ways to use one. There's not only one way. There sat a deer, yeah, and then yeah.
After I rehearsed this story at home for a while, I'll tell you it again so that you can hear it from me. And now I've kind of forgotten it. Unfortunately, I did. But that's the one thing that I'm very good at, is forgetting. Some people can tell me their names, and I hear it, and it gets stuck in my hearing aid. And when I turn around and talk with somebody else, I had forgotten the name that was told me. Lorraine knows that, haven't I got? Jerry knows it also.
Now, John, were you going to teach us some new words tonight?
Oh yes, I was going to dwell on a word that's called slums. And it's a grand, I don't know how many of you guys are grandmothers and grandfathers. But, that's what that word is. Your grandchildren. Slums.
Slums. So in Metlakatla, Slemsh. You would probably spell it a barred L, EMSH, or a HLEMSH. Slemsh.
Slims.
Slemsh.
Slims.
Grandchildren?
Yeah.
Grandchild?
Mm-hmm. I got this word from Alan Robertson in Rupert. I called him up, and several times I called him and he wasn't home. But finally one of his sons told me that he was in Queen Charlotte, BC, visiting his grandsons and grandchildren. So I waited a couple of weeks, and he got home. He called me up. He said, I'm sorry, I was visiting my sons in what's that island? I forget the name of the island.
Queen Charlotte's Haida Gwaii?
Yeah, Queen Charlotte Island. And he says, I have grandchildren there, and I just had to see them. And he said that they were happy to see me, and they played around, and then they danced the Indian dances around me, singing. They didn't have a drum, but they sang. And they sang beautifully with and calling him grandfather. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, ho, ho, yeah, quite, yes. Yeah, quite, yes. Ho, 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 quite, yes. Go, yes. Go, me, yes. And they sang that way all they kept repeating these words. They said, come on then, Seymour. Yes. That means grandfather.
Yes.
And
Yes.
But I just thought that we should go a little bit on that.
Okay. You know, John was telling me that he was thinking of that because he noticed that there are grandparents here. And so he thought he better give you the word for your grandchildren.
Direction.
Okay, so let me see how we're doing on time. Oh, we're a little bit over, John.
Oh,
It's after 7.
I'm just go with what I
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. And let's go ahead and practice how to say good evening.
Good evening. Amahu.
Amahupo. Good evening.
I'm so glad that you guys are coming up faithfully, and in a few weeks you should be able to talk. We don't have too many days left, do we?
Well, this class will go for about a month more. September 23rd is the last class, and then we're planning to offer another class in October.
Good.
Yeah.
What time in October?
I don't have a date yet.
Them two?
Yes, if they want to come, well, it'll be the same setup in October. Okay, Amahupo Metahafla.
Amahupo.
Amahupo